So the next one is actually about the type of testing that the government do. So I used to be a biomedical scientist, so I've actually done PCR, and I've always thought that it was a very good way of testing for the presence of different DNA and viruses. But I think that some of my constituents need a bit more convincing that this is a really good way of measuring infection rates. And I just wondered if you had any view on the accuracy of this sort of testing, and how much the government are relying on the statistics that they're getting from these tests as well.
I defer to your expertise on the test then. Again, comes back to what I was saying about the jigsaw. So we get a lot of information from many different sources. The PCR test is seen as the gold standard at the moment. It's not perfect, but it's the best that we've got. And as you'll know, Olivia, there's an amplification stage. So the test looks for genetic sequences from the virus. It amplifies it, so it's very sensitive for picking up if there's any of the virus material in there. So it's sensitive, and that's useful to know. Now, in terms of how we understand results from these viral tests, there's some large national surveys which give us very good information. You might have heard of the REACT study. There's another one run by the Office for National Statistics, the COVID infection survey. These studies, each surveyed over 100,000 people in each survey, and they've got people to do the tests from them. And these samples gives us snapshots of where the country is at and how much infection's out there. And what's good about these national surveys is that they're not dependent or influenced by the availability of PCR tests. You might remember back in August, September time, there were a little bit of issues with people trying to get access to the test. But with the national surveys, there wasn't that issue. So it gives us, I guess, our best, our most accurate picture of the state of the country, really. And the folk at the ONS, they're pretty good, and they're usually very strict about making sure that what they present is accurate and gives a good picture. So that's one source. The other source of information, obviously, is from the actual test and trace system, as you know. And there's something called a positivity rate or a yield, which is for every 100 people that you test, what proportion comes back with a positive test result. And that also gives us an idea of trends in the country for infections. So taking all that together, it gives us a picture. Yeah, it gives us a picture, and we understand better where things are at. In an ideal world, we'd want a magic test to tell us, but unfortunately, there's no such thing as a magic test, is there?
No, and I think that's the unfortunate truth, isn't it? But, you know, that's really helpful to explain it in that way, because I think quite a lot of people were concerned that, you know, the lack of access to tests was skewing the results in some way. And I think that's really helpful how you've explained the two surveys and how that's a bit more of a controlled kind of look at what testing means in the country and what it means for the population as well.